A guest preacher this morning is the Reverend Lauren Van Ham, no stranger to Northbrae. Her passion for spirituality, Earth's teachings, and eco-ministry have served us well in the past, and we are delighted to have her offerings for this special service. The service was co-created with myself, Marcia Golata, and Jacqueline Anderson, and Deb Golata, who has made significant contributions to this service, is taking a well-deserved weekend off to celebrate her birthday, and we are so glad she was born. We thank her mother. And now Kathy Oldham has some announcements for us.
Happy Mother's Day. Next week, there will be a monthly council meeting right after church. Next week, our guest preacher will be Judy Slater. Worship assistants will be Peggy Newgarden and Sarah Reed. The civics group will meet the first Sunday of every month at 7 p.m. June 6th, the group will discuss the recall of California governor. All are invited. Please contact Diane McNenny for a Zoom link. The movie group will meet on Zoom May 19th at 6:30. Watch the movie on your own and come and discuss. This month's movie is Fiddler on the Roof. The link is on the Northbrae website. The meditation group meets every Monday night at 5 in the Sacred Hoop Garden or in the chapel, depending on the weather. This week's meditation is dedicated to mothers, your mother, our mothers, since all of us have one.
Yeah, it is safe to say that none of us would be here unless someone, somewhere, sometime wasn't willing to have a baby and to raise children and to take on what is probably one of the most important jobs on the planet, mothering. We mother in many forms, have children, adopt children, raise children, take on other people's children, take on mothering as well as fathering if we are left without a mother to take care of our children, and the mothering of God. It's almost too big to talk about. So I'm going to let the rest of the service speak for itself. And I invite you all to join me in singing Mother of All, which is number 91 in the Silver Hymn Book. And now I invite you to say along with us the Lord's Prayer for Mother's Day, created by Matthew Fox and inspired by the Tao Te Ching. Mother of the universe, you dwell in nature, in the skies, and in the heavens.
Empty yet inexhaustible, you give birth to infinite worlds.
You flow through all things, inside and outside. May you give birth through us.
Sacred is your unnameable name. Open our hearts like the sky.
May each being in the universe return to the common source that is you and that is serenity.
Then, realizing where we come from, Earth will be like heaven, and we will become naturally tolerant, disinterested, amused, kind-hearted as a grandmother, dignified as a king.
May we, immersed in your order, deal with whatever life brings us, knowing that when death comes, we will be ready.
May we heed your teaching that violence, even when well-intentioned, always rebounds upon itself. May we learn that our enemies are not demons, but human beings like ourselves.
Help us to remain centered in you so that all things will be in harmony.
Then the world will become a paradise. All people would be at peace, and the law would be written in our hearts.
As we learn to accomplish the great task by a series of small acts,
may we be patient with friends and enemies, compassionate towards ourselves in order to reconcile all beings in the world. Amen.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the land, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. The Lord is my shepherd, I have all I need. She makes me lie down in green meadows, beside the still waters she will lead. She restores my soul, she rights my wrongs. She leads me in a path of good things, and fills my heart with songs. Even though I walk through a dark and dreary land, there is nothing that can shake me. She has said she won't forsake me. I'm in her hand. She sets a table before me in the presence of my foes. She anoints my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely, surely goodness and kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will live in her house forever, forever and ever. Glory be to our mother and daughter, and to the Holy of Holies.
invite you to enjoy this beautiful video.
I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty of love through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty of love through my own eyes. You used to rock me in the cradle of your arms. You said you'd hold me till the pains of life were gone. You said you'd comfort me in times of need, and now I need you, and now I need you, and you are. So I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty of love through my own eyes. Since you've gone and left me, there's been so little beauty, but I know I saw it clearly through your eyes. Now the world outside is such a cold and bitter place. Here inside I have feelings that will console. And when I try to hear your voice above the storms of life, then I remember yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty of love through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty of love through my own eyes. I think all the things that made me feel so wonderful when I was young. I think all the things that made me laugh, made me dance, made me sing. I think all the things that made me grow into a being full of pride. I think all of these things, for they are true. And I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty of love through my own eyes. I thought that you were gone, but now I know you're with me. You are the voice that whispers all like I need to hear. I know a place to take you when the sun will take me far. I know that I am you and you are me and we are one. I know that who I am is numbered in each grain of sand. I know that I was again and blessed again and again. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty of love through my own eyes. Yes, I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty of love through my own
I invite you to go online and find that video. I don't know about you, but the images did not come through clearly, and it is visually stunning. Now we have our scripture readings. I'll read the first one and then Marcia will read the others. This is We Have a Beautiful Mother by Alice Walker. We have a beautiful mother. Her hills are buffaloes. Her buffaloes hills. We have a beautiful mother. Her oceans are wombs. Her wombs, oceans. We have a beautiful mother. Her teeth, the white stones at the edge of the water. The summer grasses, her plentiful hair. We have a beautiful mother. Her green lap, immense. Her brown embrace, eternal. Her blue body, everything we know.
And the next reading is from Psalm 139, verses 13 through 16. For it was you who formed my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. That I know very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance. In your book were written all the days that were formed for me, when none of them as yet existed. And Genesis chapter 3, verse 20. The man named his wife Eve because she was the mother of all living.
2 weeks ago, my husband and I were in the car at 4:30 in the morning. We were returning home from San Diego and attempting to get ahead of the traffic that would be in LA. I was driving. To my left was the Pacific Ocean, spanning left to right and shining from above, Luna. The full moon was reflecting a steady, kind glow on the water's surface. I was without words, and Valentino, in his half-asleep state, said, "Isn't it amazing how gentle Earth is with us? She is so patient." In her 4.5 billion years of being a planet, Earth has known great drama, illustrated in superfluous gestures of creativity and supreme acts of destruction. If we used only this as our backdrop for religion, what would our religion consist of? There is a French philosopher and sociologist, Edgar Morin, who has thought a good deal about this and describes this deep religion as one that would unite people in vulnerability and in death. Morin writes, "Such a religion would lack any providence, any shining hereafter, but would bind us together as fellows in the unknown adventures. Such a religion would not have promises, but roots, roots in our cultures, in planetary and human history, roots in life and the stars that have forged the atoms of which we are made, roots in the cosmos where the particles were born and out of which our atoms were made." Such a religion would involve a belief, like all religions, but unlike religions that repress doubt through excessive zeal, it would make room for doubt within itself. It would look out onto the abyss. Driving north that pre-dawn morning, Valentino and I were looking out onto the abyss. As abysses go, it was a safe one. We were together and we were safe with no recognizable or existential threats in that moment. But to see the moon and ocean in their untamed vastness instantly brought us out of our separateness into intimacy with mystery. We were sharing a moment in the unknown adventure that knows its roots and makes room for doubt. For those few moments, we felt the moon and ocean peering back at us. We beheld them and we felt in return Earth's fierce love and grounded equanimity. To be seen in this way feels to me like Psalm 139, where we just read, "My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance." Do you remember last June when I was with you on Father's Day? I shared some information that Sunday about scholars and their recent work to better understand earliest mentions of original sin. Is this coming back at all? The scholars' conclusions were quite stunning and hold importance for each one of us. With careful review of etymology and translation, original sin might best be described as the spot inside every single one of us that aches for the cosmic unity we left when we fell from the stars and took form as an embryo. I'll say it one more time. Original sin might be defined as the spot inside every single one of us that aches for the cosmic unity we left when we fell from the stars and took form as an embryo. So with this understanding, we explored last Father's Day some of the hurt and harm that might stem from this core longing that goes unacknowledged. Simply put, for today, each of us is holding a memory of our eternal home, and we possess a deep longing that cannot be entirely satisfied with what we know in this realm, try though we might. What is it like to hear this again? Well, for me, I feel some heartache. I feel some fear. It's so beautiful, and yet this longing is so insatiable. It makes me want my mom. In 2016, research was shared reporting that dolphin mothers sing to their infants while they are in the womb and for some time after, so that the babies can learn their names. Apparently, the rest of the pod encourages this learning to happen by quieting their own usual sounds. Did your mother sing you your name? Even when I was a bit too big for the rocking chair still in my room, I can remember prompting my mom at bedtime, "Rock me?" I was incredibly lucky to be born to the parents I was. And I want to be very clear in this moment that Mother's Day does not mean the same thing for all people. Our biological or extended relationships do not always match the sentiments in the greeting card aisle. Today's art and liturgy has taken us into a space of deep reverence for our mothers. This may be our biological moms, our adopted moms, our symbolic moms, and it most definitely is about our great mom, the one described in Genesis 3 as the mother of all living. You know, the one who beheld our unformed substance even as we were woven in the depths of the earth. That one. Whether or not your biological mom sang your name to you in utero, the mother of all living did. And do you know what? She is singing to us still. Singing our names and inviting us to be a part of the living religion that does not repress doubt with excessive zeal. The living religion is loving, generous, interdependent, ebbing and flowing. In other words, the doubt is okay. It's the repression that erodes us, the oppression that drowns out the mother's song. How do we hear the notes again? Honor your mother. It's mentioned a number of times in the Hebrew text and in New Testament, but what does the instruction mean really? Well, yes, honor her by buying organic and composting. Honor her by conserving energy and dismantling systemic injustice. Honor her by voting for climate emergency resolutions. We honor her by repairing the painful stories in our families where we can, and by turning off our faucets. We honor her by planting flowers for the pollinators and driving less. We honor her when we buy fair trade products, and we honor her by calling our mothers and by listening to the next generation. We must do all of this and whatever else is within our capacity too. But honor your mother isn't a list of activities or boxes to check. It is a worldview that we become. The religion that honors our mother unites us as beings who see suffering and recognize death, and who embrace one another, humans and more than human, as peers in this unknown adventure. I don't know a whole lot about dolphins and the vigilance required to stay safe in the open seas. I know that they travel together, and now we know that the pods support the young ones in learning their names. Perhaps this is the most important thing, to travel and rest together, to play and eat and look out for each other. And if you become separated or danger befalls you, to know your name, to carry your mother's song within you so that no matter what, you are always at home. Maybe Jesus, walking in the sands of the Middle East, felt this marine mammal wisdom in his own DNA. Maybe Harriet Tubman could hear the honking of geese pointing her north on those moonless nights. Today, in their distracting and seductive way, modernity and progress have sometimes convinced us that we can avoid vulnerability, or that technology can replace the song, can improve the song. But the longing is still there. We heard it in the refrain of Issei Maria Barnwell's piece this morning. I am sitting here wanting memories to teach me to see the beauty in the world through my own eyes. We can learn from our more than human relatives about vulnerability and death. I mean, isn't that the rub that all religion is trying to soften? So many sages, mystics, and wise ones have offered words for how we might find more ways to trust dying as integral to the unknown adventure. Honoring our mother is about understanding our temporary and eternal essence while looking out on that abyss. We are held. We are named. It cannot be otherwise. Jenny Odell, an Oakland-based author, wrote this passage after spending time at the Elkhorn Slough in Monterey. I realized for the first time that my wish to preserve this place was also a self-preservation instinct. Our fates are linked to each other, to the places where we are, and everyone and everything that lives in them. That relationship to the richness of place lets me partake of it too, allowing me to shapeshift like the flock of birds, to flow inland and out to sea, to rise and to fall, to breathe. It's a vital reminder that as a human, I am heir to this complexity, that I was born, not engineered. That's why, when I worry about the estuary's diversity, I am also worrying about my own diversity, about having the best, most alive parts of myself paved over by a ruthless logic. When I worry about the birds, I am also worrying about watching all my possible selves go extinct. And when I worry that no one will see the value of these murky waters, It is also my worry that I will be stripped of my own unusable parts, my own mysteries, and my own depths. And then, do you know what Jenny Odell adds then? She writes, "It's scary, but I wouldn't have it any other way." Jesus, the Buddha, Lao Tzu, and so many other wise teachers and mystics remind us to find our way home by seeing ourselves in all that is living, animate and inanimate. Messages of scarcity and superiority take us down paths of fear and separation. We can behave so badly. But that is not the song our mother sings to us. The words of her song are medicine, just like the lyrics in Ysaye Barnwell's piece. "I thought you were gone, but now I know you're with me. You are the voice that whispers all I need to hear. I know that I am you, and you are me, and we are one. I know that who I am is numbered in each grain of sand. I know that I've been blessed again and over again." We have so much to learn. And evolutionarily speaking, we are barely in elementary school. Honor Your Mother is about showing up for class and getting quiet enough to hear and being vulnerable enough to be seen and taught by the ones who don't look like us. When we listen, really listen, we honor our mother because we can hear all that lives. It is moving in her, and you and I, we belong. We belong, doubts and all. So may this be our practice and our religion. In our mother, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we cannot ever fall away from our eternal cosmic home. Amen.
I invite you all to join us in singing Joy Thou Goddess, number 327 in the Silver Hymn Book.
Joy, thou goddess, fair immortal, offspring of Elysium, mad with rapture to the portal of thy holy fane we come. Fashion's laws indeed may sever, but thy magic joins again. Humankind is one forever, 'neath thy mild and gentle reign. Joy in nature, wide dominion, mightiest cause of all is found, and 'tis joy that moves the pinion when the wheel of time goes round. From the bud she lures the flower, suns from out their orbs of light, distant spheres obey her power, far beyond all mortal sight.
Listen. Do you hear your mother's song? Join in this chorus. Sing it together. Go now in joy and in peace, and honor your mother.
Say my peace I leave with